Rain poured heavily that evening, turning the small town's streets into rivers of reflection and regret. A young man named Aram, wearing a torn jacket and oil-stained jeans, rushed through the downpour toward the small garage where he worked with his father. The rain didn't bother him. What bothered him was the thought of another day gone by, another dream delayed. He wanted to build something bigger than just fixing engines, but poverty kept him chained. Yet, he never complained. Life had taught him that sometimes, even broken things like old cars or tired hearts could run again if someone cared enough to repair them. As the thunder rolled, Aram noticed a sleek black car parked on the side of the road, hazard lights blinking desperately. He could barely make out the figure of a woman inside, shivering, frustrated, and on the phone. She looked out of place, like luxury lost in the wrong part of town. Aram hesitated for a moment, then approached. "Ma'am, do you need help?" he shouted through the rain. The woman turned, startled. Her name was La, the CEO of a major tech firm, known for her confidence and calm, but that night, she was neither. Her car had stalled, and the nearest mechanic shop was miles away. She'd called roadside assistance, but no one had arrived. Aram didn't wait for her to reply. He knelt in the muddy water, opened the hood, and started examining the engine, his fingers moving with practiced precision. La watched him as the drenched young man who worked without hesitation or expectation. "You don't have to do this," she said softly. "You'll get sick." Aram smiled faintly. "Cars don't stop because of rain, ma'am." "Neither do I." Minutes turned into an hour. The rain didn't stop, but soon, the engine roared back to life. Aram stepped back, wiping his face, his hair dripping. "You're good to go," he said simply. Lou stepped out and looked at him, his hands trembling from the cold, his clothes soaked, yet his eyes carried quiet pride. She reached into her purse to offer him money, but Aram shook his head. "It's okay, ma'am. My father always says, when you fix something for someone in trouble, that's your real payment." Lou was speechless. No one had ever refused her money before. "At least tell me your name," she insisted. "Aram," he replied, walking away toward the flickering light of his garage. But Lou couldn't forget that moment, the kindness, the humility, and the strange peace in his voice. A few weeks later, Lou's company announced a community innovation contest, offering young inventors the chance to showcase their ideas. Aram saw the poster on an old wall and felt a flicker of hope. He'd been working on a small invention, a portable car battery charger made from recycled parts. It wasn't perfect, but it was his dream. Despite his father's doubts, he entered the contest. On the day of the presentation, Aram walked nervously into the grand hall, surrounded by wealthy contestants with polished pitches and expensive prototypes. His hands shook as he set up his simple device. When his turn came, he explained how it could help stranded drivers, especially in places where help might never come. He spoke from the heart, not from a script. And when he finished, there was silence. Then came a voice from the panel, a familiar one. Lou stood up, smiling. "That's the young man who helped me in the rain," she said. The audience turned to look at him in surprise. Lou walked to the stage and continued. "He didn't just fix my car that night. He reminded me that true innovation isn't built in fancy offices. It's built by people who refuse to give up, even when life gives them nothing." Her words moved everyone in the room. Aram won the contest, but that was only the beginning. Lou personally mentored him, helping him patent his design and turn it into a real product. Over the months, they worked side by side, two people from different worlds bound by one simple act of kindness. Aram's invention became a success, and soon, he was running his own startup with Lou as his investor and friend. One evening, as they stood on the terrace of his small but growing company, watching the sunset after a long day, Lou said quietly, "That night in the rain, I thought I was helping myself, but maybe it was fate helping both of us." Aram smiled, remembering the drenched road and the broken car that had brought them together.